What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Dr. Wu Iron Fortress, or their version of a micro-scale Metroplex 6-gun scamper and slammer. And we have the equivalent Metro Titan and his minions here. These were sent to me by Dr. Diecast via Tim R. of the Transformers Underground group. Thanks for allowing me to take a look at your copy. And Dr. Diecast always sends cool stuff, and this set is pretty neat. And I just want to say up front, it is not scaled as a city bot with the rest of the Dr. Wu figures. Later we'll bring in a figure for comparison. They're more like smaller versions of Metroplex that you just fun to mess with type of thing. But it does transform, which is very cool. So let's take a look at these guys. I have them all here in robot mode. They kind of came like this, except for 6-gun. That one had the arms and legs detached, but we'll take a look at all of these. So let's take a look first at these guys. So starting off with Scamper. He came like this, so his vehicle mode is just like this. You got the metallic blue for the windshield, and then these guns end up being his arms. Later we'll move these guns to the back, but he does have this on the back, which we'll show you what it's for later. But it has yellow eyes, silver for the face, and pretty much that does all the articulation. The arms just move, and that's it. For the Slammer figure, you got blue eyes, silver face, and then the arms do rotate, and that's really it. You can detach his gun here. Actually, all the guns can kind of detach from everything, but this can be used, for example, as a gun for Metroplex. So if you want to have him without that on his back, you can. And then we have this guy here, their version of 6-gun. He's got silver with metallic blue eyes, metallic blue for the chest, gunmetal for the legs, black for the knees and the arms. A little bit of black paint here, or gunmetal paint for the front chest here. This is definitely an annoyance I'll talk about later, but often this likes to fall out, so just be aware of that. These guns are side specific, so if you swap them, they will not fit, so they're angled to fit on the back. So later when we do transformation, you do have to keep that in mind because it does matter. And he looks pretty cool. Articulation for this guy, his head can rotate. Shoulders can rotate around on this joint out to there on the side. We get a 90-degree bend at the elbow, no rotation on that. We have a waist rotation. Legs will kick up to there. And that gun fell off again, so I'm just going to leave it down. The legs and arms are on pegs, so if you pull too hard, it'll pop off. But back to there. Out to the side, all on a pin. 90-degree bend at the knee, it's on a ball joint, so you can also rotate at that knee. And you get ankle tilt here. The instructions showed it with one side in and one side out. I think that's wrong. I think both should be on the outside, these little tabs. But you can do it however you like. Pretty cool little robot, with the exception to this little piece of the gun that falls off. You can take these guns out and put it in his hands. So if you prefer to have it as like, you know, a weapon, you can attach it on his arm there. Like that. You can also do an undergrip, because since there's a spot in the bottom of the hand, so you can do that as well. Let's just show you what that looks like. So you can have, yeah, this needs some key gear, something to like make it stick, but you can have undergrip or overgrip, whatever you want. And then finally we have this guy here, and really nice looking. You got white paint with red for the eyes, red paint here, yellow and black for the shoulders, silver, gunmetal, red paint here for the legs, more of that gunmetal on the sides and on the back. Really a nice looking version of Metroplex. Again, you have lots of swappable pieces and parts. The guns on the shoulders can be moved around. The back gun can be moved around and positioned differently. Lots of different options here, but head can rotate around. No up and down on the head, just rotate. Shoulder can rotate around on a hinge. Out to the side on a hinge, it does kind of collide. It gets up to there. You have a rotation here at the bicep. Oops. We have a 90-degree bend at the elbow. I'll just leave him down. Actually, a little past 90 degrees. There. No rotation at the wrist, but you get the fingers open on a single pin, which is surprising for Dr. Wu. We have a waist rotation here. No ab crunch, but the legs will kick up to there, back to there, out to the side. Very articulated for a small figure like this. It moves a lot of movement. Rotation at the thigh around a mushroom peg. 90-degree bend at the knee on a ratchet. It's a soft ratchet. I was surprised to find any ratchets on this thing at all. That's pretty cool. And then you have toe tilt and rotation forward and backward. No ankle tilt, but the toe serves as the ankles on this guy. So pretty good articulation overall between these. And since we haven't looked at the Metro Titan figure, let's take a look at that. Let me just get this back in here. Oh, and I just noticed his feet can pop out. Maybe. I hadn't noticed this before, but it looks like his feet can pop out from this body. Or is he just coming apart? Maybe he's coming apart. All right, well, I'm not sure about that, but we'll get this plugged back in. And here is the other guy, the Metro Titan. He's got green paint for the eyes, silver for the face, black and yellow here for the shoulders, a little bit of red paint there, blue paint for the legs, black paint on the bottom of the legs. On the inside, you got some red paint, more black paint there. Here's the back. Really good looking. And then if we look at these two, you can see the difference. They changed all the red to white and then the white to blue on the chest. He's got red eyes instead of blue. Pretty good looking overall. Here's the back. And then here is Slammer. He's got red eyes instead of the blue. Then obviously the plastic is blue. And then here's their Scamper. I don't know if they have different names for the Metro Titan, but this one, same thing as orange eyes instead of yellow. So there you go. And for size comparison, there they are next to the Dr. Wu Optimus. This is the Ultra Magnus version, but you can see here, I mean, these guys look okay size-wise, but the 6 guns definitely look too big, and then the Metroplex is too small. So scale-wise, it's all over the place. I don't think it was meant to scale as a city bot anyways, but there you go for a sense of size. All right, now let's get these guys transformed into their alternate modes. And we're going to do these two into 2 different modes, but the rest we'll do since they're the same. So for this guy, very simple, just fold the arms down and lift up the cannon, and there you are. There's tank mode. Same for this guy, just pull off the arms, come to the back. You're going to rotate this so that it's facing that way. Then plug in these into this back piece. And there is Scamper in vehicle mode. And we'll just get these done really quick. And I do appreciate that they actually gave these a robot mode. Even though they're so small, they still went through the trouble to give you that. All right, let's set those aside, and now we'll take a look at these guys. So these guys also have an alternate mode. Now, because everything is on a 5mm peg, you can do all sorts of stuff with this. You can make this into a gun for this guy. You can mount him in pieces, onto Metroplex. You can put him in base mode. You can do everything. But I'm just going to show you the transformation into alt mode right now. But just know that because it's all 5mm pegs, you can do a lot of stuff with this. But let's go ahead and take the arms and legs off and the guns. Take this, fold this down, and make sure those pegs stay out, these two sides. So there's how we're looking. Rotate the head around so you match up this canopy. Then we'll take these, we're going to close up that peg. And on the inside you'll see there's a slot, a circular slot and a square slot. So you're going to line that up here. That tabs in nicely there. Same on the other side. Make sure you fold this in and then tab this into the side. So it should be looking like this. Take the arms. These will tab into the side right here. And then there's a peg on the back that's holding the side of the arms. Should look like that. Same on the other side. And then we'll take the guns, and the guns, there's a little hole in the back of the gun that's going to plug into this. So put it into there first, then peg it into the side of the arm. Same on this. And there is your 6-gun jet mode. I think this looks wonderful. I love the way this turned out. Such a cool alt mode. And let's do this one really quick. I might just do this off camera. All right, now that we've taken care of the little guys, let's take care of the big guys. And I'm going to do them into 2 different modes. And one thing before we get going, this is side specific. So if you put it in the wrong side, it's not going to fit. So make sure you put the right gun into the right wing. All right, so let's start with this guy. We'll get him into his quote-unquote vehicle mode. So to do that, we're going to rotate the arms up. We're going to actually come to the back here. You can unpeg this from here. You're going to rotate this out. Rotate out this peg right here. Rotate the whole thing. Oops. Rotate the whole thing around. So it ends up like this. You can fold this one in now. And then on the top, we can just put this aiming forward like that. For the head, you're going to bring this forward. This is going to rotate on a double hinge and end up kind of covering up his face. Bring the arms up. These are going to collapse inwards to the body. So it kind of collapses that shoulder joint down. And we can rotate the gun forward. Come to the bottom here, open up this panel, rotate the hand in, and then close that up. Same on this side, rotate the hand in, close that up. And don't forget to rotate the gun forward. Alright, so the upper body is pretty much done, so we can take care of the lower body. So down here, and I had this down, but these are the wheels. This should be up for robot mode, like that. So now we're going to rotate that down. We can rotate this around, bend at the waist, it's unpegging from right there. And come to the bottom here, we're going to open up this. We're going to rotate at the thigh. Same on this side, open this up, rotate at the thigh. Make sure this is all the way down. You can put the toe down, and that kind of helps to hold it up, but it does like to bend there. And then you can peg these two together and just adjust it so that it's straight. And there is Iron Fortress in the quote-unquote vehicle mode. He does have the wheels down here. All right, there is Iron Fortress in vehicle mode. All right, now that we have the upper body finished, we can take care of the lower body. So for that, we're going to rotate the waist 180 degrees, rotate the legs 180 degrees, And this wheel is going to come down and sit down like that. Should be up for robot mode. Bring the legs up. I'm going to open up this panel here. It's going to come down on the bottom. Just make sure the foot is butted up against the bottom of the leg. Same with this one. Open this up and just keep those legs facing forward. So it should be looking something like this. We're going to take the legs and peg them together so they kind of lock in place. Take this panel right here. This is going to rotate up, and it is on a hinge. So, and then you're going to rotate that in so it covers up right here and just has a little bit of a painted surface there, which is kind of cool. Alright, so it should end up like this. And here is Iron Fortress in vehicle mode, quote unquote. It does have wheels on the bottom and it rolls. I think that's pretty cool. You can take the Scamper if you want, put him here. You can take Slammer, put him there. Really, really cool little vehicle mode. And like I mentioned, everything is 5mm pegs. You can unplug their weapons. You could swap things around. You could move things, do whatever you want to display him. But let's move him back here, and now we'll take a look at this guy, and we'll get him into city mode or base mode. So same thing here. We're going to rotate the arms up, open up this panel, fold the hands in, and then this can fold up. On this side, same thing, rotate the hand up, fold it in, and then this one is going to rotate up. We're going to fold in these little bits on the bottom, little guns. I knocked this off, but we are going to move it anyway, so fold this back like this. This gun is going to end up here. I might knock it off, but let's leave it there for now. See how we do. So we should have something like this. Next, we're going to take the head, rotate it this way, slide it out so it reveals space to open up this chest piece. And you got a really cool helipad hidden underneath that head. All right, so put that back that way, fold the head forward to cover up the face, and then put it into this mode. So it should look like something like this. On the back here, we're going to undo this, open this up, open this up, if I can get it, rotate this all the way up, and then this can just sit right on the top here as kind of like a tower. And make sure you collapse the shoulder joints in as well. Those should be sitting flush. All right, and finally we take care of the legs. This came loose. It's easier to just have it pushed back so that it doesn't move around on you. All right, so now take care of the legs. So for the legs, I'm going to rotate the waist 180 degrees. Bend at the joint here, so that's just tabbed in there. Open up this bottom section just like we did before, except it's upside down this time. Come to here, you're going to open up this section, and you're going to open up these little sections. These are hard to get at, but if you have trouble, you can use a spudger. Yeah, I'm not going to get it, so I'm going to use a spudger to get in here. There we go. And as well as here. And we're going to bend right here at the inner thigh, so that will give you that look. So that's how you want that. Make sure the head's down. And you can kind of adjust things. Make sure the wheels are up in this situation because you don't want the wheels down and in the way. And then these you can just fold forward and have them sit on the outside. And there is base mode, other than I knocked this off. And there's base mode or city mode for Iron Fortress. And it looks very, very good. You can also rotate these if you want. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but lots of little options here. We can take, of course, we can take Scamper, put him here on the ramp. We can take this guy, maybe put him in the middle. And again, you could take apart 6-gun and put guns all over if you wanted to. Just as an example, if you wanted to take this and we can peg this into the inside right here as a gun. Just as an example. You could do a lot of stuff, but really, really nice looking base mode. You can also have it open like this if you want, more like a sprawling city. And then here's the other mode. I really think this turned out great. It's a great looking base mode, both of them, both styles, and it works. And for size comparison, there they are next to the Dr. Wu version of Optimus Prime in vehicle mode, and they do seem a little small even in this mode, although it's better, but still I don't think they were intending to scale with their own vehicles here, but there you go. Alright, now let's get into the fourth mode, which is the cube. It turns into a cube. You actually need all of these parts to do it, so we'll have to prepare everything. So let's start with this easier, guys. Take the guns off of Scamper and just set those to the side. I actually don't see in the instructions where these go, but there's probably a spot for them. But just set those aside, bring this down, and I think it rotates this way if I remember correctly. Yes. And then set this aside for now. For this guy, just put the turret down and then set him aside. For this guy, we had to take them all apart, unfortunately. Take the legs off, take the arms off. And then this piece can stay like this. It's a little part. These can stay like this. For the arms, you're going to remove the guns. And you're going to remove these back pieces here. And set those aside. Right, so we have all those parts ready. And now we can take care of this. Remove these guns as well. Set those aside. Remove this gun. Set that aside. And now we're ready to get this guy into cube mode. So first, we're going to fold back up these panels. Fold up these panels. Straighten back up the legs. And we can bring this around to this side. On the back side, we're going to actually end up putting this helipad back. So we'll rotate the head up, rotate it this way, slide it to the outside so you can close up this little panel. And by the way, there's a little peg on the top of the helipad that kind of locks in this rear piece. So it's a nice little design there. Anyway, rotate the head back, slide it backwards, bring this back over, and now we can take care of this. Fold at the waist. On the back part here, we're going to take this, rotate it. It pegs in, this blue piece pegs in back here, so get that pegged in. And this kind of locks the whole thing together, so you got to make sure this is actually attached. And then rotate these two pegs backwards, so they face straight back. Those two pegs are going to go into these two slots on the legs. So you're going to bend at the knee on that ratchet, bring that all the way up, and get one pegged in. And for the other one, we're going to bring in Scamper. Scamper is going to end up sitting right here. The little slot in the middle is going to attach to a peg on the inside of the legs, and then it's going to sandwich in between here. So you have this peg on the side and on the top, All of that's holding it together. So you get both pegs in. And now this part is really solid, this top part, because it's held together by that and by that front peg. And then rotate the head around, and this is how we're looking. You can rotate the arms in so the angled part is on the inside. And now we're ready to start adding the other parts. So take this. This will fit in right here. And let me make sure I have it the right way. Maybe it's the other way. And I have something backwards here. So you're going to open up this. You have to rotate this white piece the other way. So you get this little square piece that gives you a little space to plug this in. So that should plug in right there. Right now that we have that there, we can start assembling the inside. So this tank, you have two little pegs here on the side that will plug in right here. So get this slid in here. And then we can take the arms. You're going to bend at the elbow. You're going to take these guns, which have the little fin on the top. Those are going to plug into the bottom of the hand and sit like this. And then these are going to peg into the side of the thighs. And it's going to sit just on the inside here, like that. Right, so do the same thing on the other side, fold this up. And again, remember, I have the wrong gun in the wrong side. So this is another example of you got to have the right side gun in the actual hand. Otherwise, you'll have trouble fitting it. Yeah, that fits a lot better. So you can see it's now flush up against there. So make sure you have the right gun. So you can see it's a little bit of an angle to the outside. Alright, so now we got both arms in with those guns. And then we're going to take this thing, this gun right here. That is going to plug in right here. So there's two slots in the back of Scamper. And then there's a slot on the side of the foot. So you can rotate the foot forward. And make sure that you have the pegs facing upwards. Tab this into Scamper and then tab the foot into the side. Oops, and I knocked this out. This is one of the issues with this mode is you got to do things in order, otherwise things start coming out. All right, so here's how it looks. Then we'll take these. These will peg into the side of, not here, not the side of the arms, the side of the legs. That's to allow space because the legs are actually thinner in terms of thickness than the arms. So peg these right here. And right here. And then this last step, I like to do this last on purpose because it's loose. So of all the parts that are on there, this is the loosest. So these, there's a little peg right here that's going to go into a slot right there on the side of the tank. And then there's a peg on the back of the leg that's going to kind of slot into this tab. It's very loose. It's not the best fit. But that's kind of how it goes. That part definitely feels less finished than the rest. But there you go. Now you could find a spot for these, I don't know, somewhere maybe on the top. I don't really know where these gun pieces go. I didn't really find a place, but if you know of a place, let me know in the comments. I didn't find any specific spot. But you have a nice little cube here. So if you're into this cube thing, there's another company that makes stuff like this. But if you're into this, then I think this is a cool little fourth mode for this guy. So final recommendations on the Dr.Wu Iron Fortress and Iron Fortress S version. These are some really great figures. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. Almost gave it a 5 out of 5, but these are super fun figures. Love the transformations, love all the accessories, the way they can integrate and combine. The fact that it makes a cube, that's just cool. It's just a little fun thing. It's not, germane to the cartoon, but it's just cool that it does it. Little vehicles, even though the transformation of these are like a little cheesy, it's just cool that they worked it in there. This jet mode is very cool. Really, it's just fun, a fun set. I think if it had been in scale with the rest of Doctor Who, I probably would have given it a 5 out of 5. The fact that these guys are a little bit too small, I think when they make a Skyfire, Jetfire, it's probably going to be this size. So to me, it should have been a little bit bigger. But other than that, man, these are really, really good sets. But that's it for today. Thanks to Dr. Diecast and Tim R for sending these for review. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.